It is an honor to present an overview of our documentary film, History of Yoga, The Path of My Ancestors. Now, I'm not going to present any yogasana or pranayam and all that you generally see, but yoga was an ancient science to attain perfection and creativity. And it was used as a powerful tool and technique in all human endeavors of the past. This is a unique thing of India. Now, I'll just present a quick slide. This is the film that we have made, History of Yoga, The Path of My Ancestors. I'll just present the unique features. We traveled to 137 locations across India, Nepal, US museums, and museums in Europe to get evidences. And hundreds of permissions were taken to make this film. And you'll enjoy breathtaking photography of Indian heritage in this film. There were a number of scholars, eminent scholars were taken to authenticate the contents of the film, and they were from various fields, as you can see. And yoga, over the ages, deeply influenced Indian mind and civilization over the ages. And you will see that all in this film. And we have covered 4 major fields, important fields in this film. The first being the history, which is from 6,000 years to 19th century, like Harappa civilization. And you will see Dholavira and Lothal of Gujarat in this film. And of course, there are a lot of things, but time is less, and I don't want to hold you from the film. And then the philosophy, which is yoga. Sankhya is a very ancient philosophy, which is very scientific, rational, and logical. And this is also covered in the film. And Hatha Yoga, of course, is there. And the later times, Raj Yoga, Hatha Yoga, and all other things come. Where is it? Then we covered religions, all the major religions of India. And we also covered Sufism, where we find that yogis had close interactions with the Sufi masters of the time. So their whole theory and philosophy evolved through these interactions, and it's very interesting to know. And then, of course, physio-psychic techniques that we have used here. All asana pranayams are, of course, there, mudra and all. Alchemy is also there. And when we traveled across India, we found that people still use, they are trying to find out ways to keep their body long, longevity, to increase their longevity and all that. And of course, West is also very interested in this particular thing. And the evidences we collected from archaeological sites and text and manuscripts, temples, tantric arts and all. And because we traveled across India, we've covered all living traditions there, which are still practicing and singing yoga, couplets and all, and doing Hatha Yogic practices and various other things. So you will get to see music, dance and all also in the film. We had 26 screenings across India, US and Europe. And a DVD was launched in Mumbai by none other than Sri Rajiv Malhotra ji in the presence of corporate world of Mumbai. And then he liked it so much that Infinity Foundation is now distributing it in North America. We are indeed very, very grateful to him. I think the potential audience are very many. Of course, yoga-related and educational institutions, yoga institutions, masses and all. But of course, panchayats who are the custodians of these archaeological sites and living traditions. So they also need to get aware of this whole philosophy and what we have in India. It's been in the past and all. And Defense Forces in CISF, because they are holding, guarding, and protecting these monuments and museums. And if you go to national museums, you'll see about 700 CISF personnel guarding National Museum now. So this is also very, very important, but they don't know what they're guarding, so they need to also be made aware of this whole thing. And I think this is all I have to say. And I'll just invite Ramji Om, who is the co-director, writer, and cinematographer of this film. He'll just tell you the essence of this film, and we'll have this clip. And I'm so thankful that all the students have come for this little show. It'll be 10 minutes of clip, and the DVDs are available outside for sale on discounted rate. those who want it can take it. It's in Hindi and English both. And if you like, you can take it for your parents who have not got the opportunity to travel across India. So it's Bharat Darshan also. Thank you.
Thank you, Deepika ji. फिल्म के लास्ट में इसका essence of the film has been described in the last part when one expert summarizes it like this. ये कौन नहीं जानता कि चोरी करना गलत है, रिश्वत लेना गलत है, झूठ बोलना गलत है. ये सब के हमारे, he is a medical scientist who is describing the importance of yoga. तो उन्होंने कहा है कि ये कौन नहीं जानता, ज्ञान सबको है, लेकिन जब करने का वक्त आता है तो हमारा जो इंटेलिजेंट ब्रेन है वो उसकी पावर कम हो जाती है, जो ह्यूमंस में है, जो इवॉल्व हुआ है लाखों वर्षों में, उसकी पावर कम हो जाती है, और जो हमारा इंस्टिंक्टिव ब्रेन है वो हावी हो जाता है करने के वक्त. और इस चीज़ को एक्चुअली भारतीयों के संदर्भ में और ज़्यादा देखें तो ये बहुत ज़्यादा लागू होता है. राष्ट्रकवि दिनकर ने पहले बहुत कहा था कि हमारे चरित्र में दो फाड़ हो गई है. हमारा चरित्र फटा हुआ है. इंडियंस का चरित्र फटा हुआ कैसे है? आचार और विचार में. विचार बहुत ऊंचे हैं, बड़ी बड़ी बातें की करेंगे हम लोग, लेकिन जब करने का वक्त आता है तो हमारे, आप सब समझते हैं इस चीज़ को, मुझे समय लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. लेकिन ये उद्देश्य फिल्म का नहीं था कि हम लोगों को ये बताएं कि योग कितना महत्वपूर्ण है. हमारा उद्देश्य था कि लोग स्मृतिमान बने. और स्मृति का शब्द भारतीय वाङ्मय में वो नहीं है जो मेमोरी है. इनफैक्ट जब इसको मैंने लिखा तो मुझे लगा कि शायद हमारी देशी भाषाओं के अलावा इसकी लेखनी का कोई और माध्यम हो नहीं सकता, क्योंकि चित्तवृत्ति जैसे शब्दों का कोई अर्थ नहीं, कोई समानार्थ नहीं है. दूसरी भाषाओं में कोई शब्द नहीं है. बहुत चुनौतीपूर्ण रहा जब हमने उसको ट्रांसलेट किया, कि जब हमने कहा कि चिता कॉन्शियसनेस, वो भी कबीर बेदी ने, जिन्होंने इसमें वॉइस ओवर दिया है, उन्होंने कॉइन किया था. हम स्कॉलर्स भी, बहुत सारे स्कॉलर्स भी इस मामले में बहुत स्ट्रगल हुआ उनको. तो वो स्मृति को लौटा लाना है. इस फिल्म का उद्देश्य ये पतंजलि के योग दर्शन को डिस्क्राइब करते हुए शुरू होती है. फिर हम लोग वही हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन में जाते हैं, वहाँ से वैदिक में जाते हैं, उसके बाद उपनिषदिक पीरियड में आते हैं, और इस तरह ट्रैवल करते 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 एक यात्रा तय करते हैं इस फिल्म में. जो यात्रा 19वीं सदी के अंत में रामकृष्ण परमहंस पे ख़त्म होती है, एक घटना के साथ, उनकी एक जीवन की घटना के साथ, जिसमें वो असंप्रज्ञात समाधि तक पहुंच जाते हैं. और इस तरह से हम दो तरह की यात्रा इस फिल्म में दिखाई देती है आपको. एक तो वो यात्रा है जो आप इतिहास में, जो एक पाश्चात्य दृष्टिकोण से इतिहास को आजकल देखने की एक परंपरा बन गई है काल के पैमाने पे. दूसरा है हमारा अंदर का इतिहास, हमारा अपना इतिहास, हमारे संस्कारों का इतिहास, कि व्यक्ति कैसे अपनी चेतना को ऊंचा उठाता है, आलंबन लेता है, समाधि तक जाता है, और आखिर में वो चेतना अकेले ही रह जाती है.
मिस्टर ओम, आपके पास 7 मिनट बचे हैं.
तो
आप प्लीज,
यही इसमें है. मैं चाहता हूँ कि अभी इसको शुरू किया जाए.
हाँ, क्योंकि 7 मिनट बचे हैं आपके पास.
Humans have accomplished wonders on Earth. Our penetrating vision is unveiling the mysteries of nature. We are endlessly watching the world around us. The seers of the Upanishads carefully studied this attribute of human nature thousands of years ago. They observed that all our sensory organs open outwardly. Humans have accomplished wonders on Earth. Our penetrating vision is unveiling the mysteries of nature. We are endlessly watching the world around us. But our mind and intellect always remain entangled in the external world. The changes of the world keep us oscillating between pleasure and pain. Modern scientific accomplishments have failed to give us lasting happiness. Ancient India, are penetrating. They observe that all our sensory organs open outwardly. Hence, by nature, we are bound to always seek outwards. As a result, our mind and intellect always remain entangled in the external world. The changes of the world keep us oscillating between pleasure and pain. Modern scientific accomplishments have failed. Is the cessation of the changing modes of chitta consciousness. The next question one may ask, hence by nature, we are bound to always seek outwards. The question arises, what is yoga? Yoga is the cessation of the changing modes of chitta consciousness. The next question one may ask, what is the benefit of practicing yoga? Through yoga, is it the story of an honest effort by man to conquer disease, old age, and death. We seek the answers with our journey into India's 6,000 years of known history. The story of philosophy on which the Indian mind is based is a story of India itself. It is generally believed that Patanjali was from the Nag tribe. He was the writer of 3 treatises, Vyakran Mahabhashya, Yoga Sutras, and Ayurveda Samhita. With Yoga Shastra, he eliminated the impurities of the mind. Through grammar, he eliminated the impurities of speech, and through his composition on Ayurveda, the ailments of the body. If it is true that all these 3 Shastras were composed by a single man, Patanjali, then we can say he was certainly an extraordinary genius. Here is the famous fort of Chittor, which finds a small connection with sage Patanjali. In his composition on grammar, Patanjali gives an illustration. Madhyamika is being surrounded by the Greeks. Madhyamika was the ancient name of Chittor. Greek warriors surrounded the fort of Chittor between 184 to 148 BC. This illustration suggests that Patanjali may have lived during the time of King Pushyamitra Shung. Also, an inscription on the rock edict says that Patanjali performed a yajna for King Pushyamitra Shung. Very little else is known about his life. Amazingly, the Yoga Sutras that Patanjali wrote could be fitted onto one single page. This is his complete work on yoga, which was later elaborated by Maharishi Vyas. It is not known when the tradition of yoga came into existence, but on the basis of Sankhya philosophy, Patanjali compiled the sutras with precise classifications, sequences, and logic. In the history of mankind, Patanjali is perhaps the first one who demystified the elements of consciousness and arranged them scientifically. Ancient Indians had applied a unique technique for seeking knowledge. Here the experimentation, testing, and observation were not performed externally, but inside the human body and mind. It was believed all that exists in the human body, the same exists in the universe. So for acquiring knowledge, the use of telescope, microscope, or chemicals was not required. Instead, the observer himself became like a telescope and a microscope. It was believed that if the chitta consciousness of the observer is focused, pure, and peaceful, his vision would also become clear and focused. The process of concentrating the chitta consciousness is yoga. Therefore, yoga in India left its mark on many philosophies, arts, and sciences. But the concentration in yoga has a specific purpose. The way Ayurveda cures the diseases of the body, the same way yoga alleviates the disease of the mind, suffering. There are 4 chapters in Yoga Shastra. The first is Samadhipad. This chapter is meant for highly evolved practitioners. Here, various techniques and progressive dimensions of yogic concentrations are mentioned. After prolonged practice of concentration with total detachment, the state of self-realization is attained. The wisdom of the state is called Ritambhara Pragya. It is beyond the intellect. In fact, it removes the impressions of intellect. This state of samadhi cannot be achieved through ordinary wisdom. So the ordinary person has to start with yoga from the second chapter, Sadhanpad. Here, 8 limbs of yoga restraint, discipline, posture, regulation of breath, withdrawal, concentration, meditation, and samadhi. Yamas are 5: non-violence, truth, non-stealing, non-possession, and celibacy. Niyamas are also 5: cleanliness, contentment, austerity, recitation, and reverence for God. Patanjali saw God as a means for the cessation of the mind. He did not see God as the creator, destroyer, or operator of the universe. He was just a unit of consciousness which is freed from the bondages of nature, Prakriti. The theory of yoga is Sankhya, which is atheist in nature. The priests of those times opposed it and tried to infuse elements of religion into it. Religion demands faith, but yoga is entirely existential, experiential, and experimental. The seeker, by controlling and regularizing his daily conduct through yam and niyam, sits in an asana. Asana is a comfortable and pleasant posture of the body. The body should not move. The vision should either be on the tip of the nose or the center of the eye.
How long it is?
I think it was 10 minutes clip.
Concentration can either be an object within is known as pratyahar. The inner journey of yoga begins from here. When the mind gets intermittently stabilized at any one point, that is known as dharana. The point of concentration can either be an object, real or abstract, or a thought. When dharana gets prolonged, it becomes dhyana. When dhyana gets extended further, it results in samadhi. Samadhi is the purest and steady state of being. Patanjali was not the discoverer of yoga. Where did it all begin? Traditionally, it is believed that Sankhya is the oldest philosophy of India. The Mahabharata also describes Sankhya and Yoga as Sanatan philosophies, that which have been in existence forever. But who was the first yogi? The name that resonates from the farthest end of Indian thought is that of sage Kapil, the originator of Sankhya, the greatest achiever of yoga. In the Gita, Yogi Krishna declares, "Amongst the highest achievers, I am Kapil Muni." People believe that no one ever perfected yoga like sage Kapil. But there are problems regarding the historical evidence of Kapil's existence. Therefore, let us begin the history of yoga from here. The figure of this 5,000-year-old seal appears to be that of a yogi in meditation. With respect to time and geographical area, the Indus Valley was the oldest and largest civilization on earth.